JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Hey, video putting together for fellow business owners, employers specifically, that we've been spending a lot of time and effort just in the community, ourselves, just topic of discussion, thoughts, which has been good, but our focus has been maybe related to PPP, EIDL, getting the money, figuring out how you're going to get the money. And I understand there's other things going on in your life, but that's been probably for a lot of us, it feels good. It's been a glimmer of hope. I'm glad that the SBA's moved as quick as it has. We've got this week, today's April 15th, but we got stimulus checks hitting, EIDL, PPP. We're talking about the role of how do we get back into, the new norm, so to speak. And what I want to get ahead of, and knowing the businesses that I work with, is that there's going to be this, like, we've been doing this, right? We were like kind of the energy of kind of getting to the crisis and the energy of what's going on, and then we realize, okay, the crisis is for real, and then what are we going to do? And we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to have money, and then it's like, whoa, hang on, we're going to get some air underneath our wings here. Okay, we're coming back up because we're going to get some money coming in the door, and then now it's just going to be a little bit of a, not a crash, but it's going to be a little bit of a letdown, right? Think of, anticipation, and especially as an employer, where most employers, you wear it a little bit, right? You wear the responsibility of making payroll, of making sure that the business is continuing, money's coming in the door, customers are happy, products are going out the door, dealing with all the things that make your business go for the purpose of paying yourself, right? Meaning, that's why most people own a business, is they want to work for themselves. They want to be in charge of their own destiny. And what helps them do that is a wonderful team and group of individuals that are called employees. Your team could also be, 1099 individuals. And I bet as we get into the week of the 20th, now there's going to be some antsiness, right? There's going to be a little bit of realization, I think, as the PPP money, hits your bank account, a little bit of realization that it's there, but it's restricted. So I've got a couple of emails videos on that, more to come. But from my perspective, I think the business owner will realize a little bit that there's still a lot of other responsibilities that need to be met. And I'm just talking obvious here, right? And, if you've been paying yourself, you're going to be able to, benefit the same as you were. But we all know that most business owners, the compensation that they're pulling out is not only what their wages are, it's distributions. And, there's things that the businesses pay for business owners directly, whether it's the vehicle or, their health insurance, their cell phone. I'm not talking about running personal expenses through per se, but when you're a business owner, there are certain things that if you weren't a business owner, you'd be paying out of your own personal pocket. All to say that I think there's going to be a little bit realization amongst us business owners, my clients, that there's still a mountain to climb. And the mountain that we've been climbing wasn't as steep as the one that's coming. And what's the one that's coming? And I say this so let's recognize the next mountain before we hit the next valley. So we've gotten our PPP money. We've got money coming in, okay? That's going to help. It's in. The bank account's going to be full, okay? I've got a microphone that, sorry, just like bad manners, right? But I've got this microphone here. Remember, the video's free, so oh gosh. maybe I'll just splice this out, maybe not, whatever. But I think before we hit the valley to then go, oh, wow, look at this other big mountain over here. Let's see it now, okay? When I was growing up, I was in Boy Scouts, and I went on 3 different 100-mile plus hikes before I was 16 years old. And I remember the very first time I went on the hike, we're doing kind of switchback, and it's tall trees. This is in the state of Washington, so the trees there is so tall. I mean, when you're driving down the road, it might as well be like you're in New York with skyscrapers. The only sky you see is where the trees are cut out for the road. So anyways, we're climbing and doing switchbacks, right? Going up the trail, going up this mountain. Felt like we were hiking, all day. Maybe it was a couple hours. And, we're reaching the top. And when we come to the top of where we're at, I look out, and I can still see it to this day. We got up high enough that there was actually even some snow. And this was probably, the hike was sometime in July, but there was even a little bit of snow. And when I got to the top, you see now all these mountains. It was the Cascade Mountains. You see all of them. And it's beautiful. And there was a sense of accomplishment that we had gotten over. And at this point, it's like you realize it wasn't even a mountain. Okay, we got dropped off at, one of the trailheads, and we did hike up, but we weren't going over a mountain. And don't get me wrong, we weren't getting ready to climb the mountain of like literally a Cascade Mountain, but you see all the mountains in front of you. So as a business owner, what's interesting is typically we're always right there anyways, right? We're at the top of some mountain typically as a business owner, and we see it all, okay? There was I might get the name wrong, but I learned this technique probably about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and this technique it was Japa, if I'm gonna remember it correctly, but it was kind of like a Sun Tzu, where this leader, commander, had never been defeated. And part of it was Japa would always be sure to position himself, not necessarily all of his troops at the same time, but he always positioned himself where he could see everything as much as possible. So even if everybody advanced and then he followed, but he always positioned himself where he could see everything. And as business owners, if you think about it, that's typically how we operate, right? When you see the movies and you see the plant where they're building cars, right? Where's always the managers? They're up top with the offices and the windows, and they're able to oversee everything. And as entrepreneurs and as business owners, as employers, we've been home, and we've kind of been, stifled, right? I mean, if we're like eagles, we've been kind of put into a cage, and we've been in this cage long enough. I mean, heck, for me, it's 31 days that we haven't been on that mountain in a while. Now, we may think that we're still seeing everything, but we haven't even been in our businesses. We haven't been around our employees. We haven't been around our customers. Heck, we haven't been around our product. We haven't done what we've done for 23 years for me, which is almost every day, okay? Going to my office, unlocking a door, or now opening the garage, going into my office, turning on lights, or saying hi if everybody's arrived, saying hi to the team, and going to my office, and now diving in, okay? What are we doing now? We're getting up, getting ready, I mean, I got house slippers on, okay? Get up, put your house slippers on, and I, walk around the corner from my living room, and I'm in my office. And not seen my staff in actually at this point, 33 days. And haven't seen any clients. I've talked to them on the phone. Really no activity. staff's at home. Maybe they're popping in every once in a while. But like you as a business owner, I've not been out on top of the mountain. Doesn't even have to be the tallest mountain, right? Because as business owners, it's like this, but we're always kind of up here. We're up high. We're looking around. And what have we been able to focus our time on? Well, we've had to climb down whatever, the perch, the mountain, the stoop, whatever you want to call it, and go back home. And what we've been doing then is, getting our finances, when I don't even say in order, like what can I pay? What can't I pay? Who do I need to call? Who do I need to ask? Can we wait for this? Can we wait for that? Talking to employees, helping them problem solve. Should they go on unemployment? When's the money coming in? We'll be now, focusing on, how does the PPP forgiveness work? How do you book it? You're using those dollars, but as a business owner, it's going to quickly set in that those monies didn't really do much to help your business outside of rent, utilities, health insurance, payroll. Now, don't get me wrong, most businesses, those are your major expenses. So not at all am I saying as a business owner that that's not a help. It absolutely is. And it's a relief that my employees are going to get paid. I pay myself payroll. I'm going to collect, continue to get my payroll. But we have employees now that haven't been coming to work as well. Maybe you're still paying them, but they're viewing things differently in life from the standpoint of being at home. They're not getting up every morning and getting ready and eating their breakfast and driving to work and opening the doors and saying hi to everybody. So what I need us to do as business owners is, before you realize that you're not at the top of the mountain, you need to be at the top of that mountain, okay? We've had to come back down. So what's that mean? Here's what I'd like you to do, because here's what I'm going to do. Today's Wednesday. So during the work week, okay? And as a business owner, most of us, right? Work week means, Monday through Sunday, or it's Monday through Friday, but it's not 8 to 9. It's whenever we get there to whenever we leave, right? So what I would suggest to you is to go to your office, go to your building, go to wherever your place of business is. If you have a store, if you have a restaurant, and you're going to go and you're going to reclaim that place by showing up at it, okay? And when I say reclaim it, you're going to walk it all. You're going to walk every inch. You're going to walk into each bathroom. You're going to walk into the storage area. You're going to walk into, if you have a restaurant, you're going to walk into the back. You're going to check out the fridge. You're going to go, yep, it's empty. You're going to go, yep, the supplies are gone. Yep, there's nobody here. But you're going to be there first. You're going to be there before we even open back up. And you're going to start envisioning, what does this look like when we open back up? Okay? So you're going to want to get that entrepreneurial spirit back turning. And I'm going to have a series of videos that come out, and maybe it'll only help a couple of us. Maybe it'll really just help me. But I'm going to have a series of videos that's, basically geared towards this. And, we need to be looking at what's our cash position now that we have money in, right? Like what's our cash position? I've got a worksheet that I'm going to revisit that includes, whether it's EIDL or PPP money. We're in a different boat, right? We know that some of these things are going to be covered for 8 weeks, which is great. Should be all back to normal, so to speak. But as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's much more than just having money come in to pay payroll, rent, utilities, insurance, interest expense. Okay, there's so many other things that have to get covered in your business. So work on this week getting back to the position that you've always been in, which is where you can see everything. Okay, and the reason that Joppa was never defeated, because he always was able to see everything. And it works from a psychology. You know, when I play golf, for whatever reason, when I learned about this strategy, which was at a really tough time in my life back in 2007, but I implemented it first when I was playing golf, and I had some health issues, and I wasn't able to work. It wasn't health issues physically, but I wasn't able to work, and so I was spending time, you know, playing golf just by myself. But I implemented that playing golf, and I actually play golf better. That when I get up on the tee box, I can see the whole fairway. I can see the green, and I can see every sand typically, right? Most holes you're able to see most of that, right? And when I would look and I would be picking where I wanted to go next, and then I'd hit the ball and maybe it went there, maybe it didn't. But then as I was going towards my ball and I was looking, and I would peruse everything, okay? Getting the land, letting my mind see everything, getting familiar. And I'd get up to my ball, and then I would hit it again. Then I'd see everything, okay? If you fish, right? You don't just focus in on where you're at. You're gonna try and get yourself a little bit, you know, to a spot where you can see lots of things, see into the water. You know, there's probably a lot of analogies you could come up with on your own, but it works if I can see everything. So we got to start seeing it again up here, what's getting ready to come. Because all of a sudden it's going to come like a tidal wave, right? Doors open. Now all of a sudden, oh, wow, we got this going on. And then I remember this, and we have these customers, and then we usually did this, and we did that, and such this, and such that. So this week, what are we doing? We're going to get our minds back into what does that look like? Visit physically. Physically go visit your place of business. If you got 10 locations, visit every single one of them, okay? If you have more than that, then whoever is your underneath the next level, you visit as many as you can, and you have them visit and report back, you know? Just, you know, as a restaurant, right? When you go in, yeah, like maybe the freezer's still good, but there's a lot of things that are not. What we're going to want to do next is making a list of what do we need to prepare for now. You know, there's a lot of businesses, maybe there's not much, but you know, what do you do when you haven't been open for a while? So what's next? And why do you want to know that? Because when the doors open, it's time to do business, right? It's time to sell. It's time to collect. It's time to serve. It's time to call. It's time to follow up. It's time to problem solve on the business, like what generates the money. So think ahead now. What do I got to do so that I'm ready for that? Okay. And you probably want to come up with a strategy that's either on your phone, maybe it's an Excel spreadsheet, maybe it's just written down on paper. You want to think about your staff in the sense of, well, who's doing what? And the next thing we want to be looking at next week is how do you start waking up the next level of management if you have a larger company? How do you start waking them up? How do you start re-engaging them? Okay. Maybe you've been re-engaged. Maybe you're all still working and Zooming. Not the same. Not the same as physically being together. Okay. You might have a law practice and everybody's still practicing. They're at home. That is not the same as everybody's back in the same facilities. Okay. You want to start thinking about how do you now get the staff warming up? And then how do you do the next level? So you want to get yourself back on higher ground before you hit the valley, because as we're traveling, we're doing this as business owners. Life happens, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? And then as you get more successful, it's more like this, okay? And then when you been doing it a while, it starts to be more like, you know, like this, and hopefully it's going up a little bit, right? Well, we're in a valley, okay? We're there. May have not felt like it, but we're there. We're home. We're in the valley. I don't even mean valley of death and oh my gosh, and it's terrible. All I'm saying is We haven't been back on the mountain. Why? First of all, you haven't been in your office. You haven't been at your place of business. So go and claim it this week. Okay, sounds kind of rude, but go to the restroom at your business. Claim it. Okay, that's very, cave person-like, but claim it. Okay, turn on the lights. Take a look around. Start making notes. Wake this up more. Okay. Now, you may feel like you've been very engaged in talking to employees and customers and following up and doing Zoom, but all you've been doing is dealing with the crisis, right? And maybe you have been selling, maybe you are doing some things, maybe you found some new ways, but you're going to go back to what it was. You need to get yourself ready for that. And the way that you're going to recover the best, the way that you're going to avoid a crash is to start already thinking about the opening. Because now you just get to skip the valley, right? If you're coming down like this, why go down here and then go, oh my gosh, look what's coming. You can go here, and now we're going to do, Iron Man, Iron Woman, Superman, Superwoman, and we're just going to fly over to the next mountain, okay? We're superheroes as business owners, as employers, as sole proprietors, whatever, right? There's no reason to go down to here, okay? You're going right here. We're going to do a fly straight over and get right back to where we were before you need to, okay? Sun Tzu, Art of War. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. We got a battle coming. You know what the battle is? Reopening. Okay? It's going to be positive. It's going to be fun. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be relieving, right? It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be great. It's going to be stressful, right? You're going to get back to where you were. Well, to get back the best that you can, you as the owner, as the employer, okay, as the management team, you don't have to be the owner to be part of a management team, right? Get to your office physically, okay? Physically. Regain it. Take notes. Get your team and your troops warmed up. You're the leader. They're looking to you. Okay? They're going to be probably excited to learn that, hey, I went by the office. Everything looks great. Checking in. Hey, such and such, why don't you make a list of what you think we need to be doing? Hey, such and such, what do you think we need to be doing? Get everybody thinking through. What do we got to do to get the doors open again? What do you think we need to do the first week? Who are the customers we need to call first? What orders do we need to follow up on first? What inventory do we need to check on, right? What vendors do we need to call and make sure they know, hey, we are open or we're going to open on this date? Who do you want to call in advance, right? What a great way to touch base with customers and vendors before your doors are even open, right? Which you can be doing all next week. So I've been talking about houses on fire, right? That money that came in, the PPP, EIDL, et cetera, it's going a long way to be putting that fire out. And we're going to get back to work and we're going to be bringing in more money and that fire will be put out. And we'll look and go, okay, great. We might have a few charred areas, but guess what? We made it. We did it. We're back. Because what you also want to be prepared for is once you're back, you're going to then realize how close you came to losing it all when you got it all back, right? Think of if you've ever been through some kind of scary anything in your life, whether it's a car accident or you've seen something happen, something happens to one of your kiddos or a family member or a loved one, or you hear of a story or you just witness something, right? It's like, oh my gosh, and you see it and you experience it. You live through it, and then once you've made it through it, there's also an emotion of, I can't believe we came this close to losing it all, okay? It's one of the biggest concerns as a business owner, of losing it, what you built, right? What you put together, all the people that are reliant upon you as the business owner or the main management team, okay? Not even just employees, right? Customers, vendors, right? People you do business with, bankers, right? You're going to realize how close you came to losing it all, okay? Even the most successful business. So even when I'm talking to, surgeons, right? It's like, there's going to need to be people that need surgeries when they get back, but there's going to be a sense of relief and it's going to come quickly. But a way that you can get ahead of that is to already be prepared, to already have worked through it, to already look at your numbers, to already look at your cash flow, to already figure out everything you need to do when you open, and then actually start doing some of it before you even open your doors, before you're back. I would encourage you, me included, just get to the office every day, few minutes, pop in. Okay, you don't have to do anything. Look around, check the mail, right? Business owners, when's the last time you checked the mail? Check the mail, check it out, look at it. You got someone checking it for you and going through it, stop by, look through it. Let your team know you're back. Let the team know I'm there, not from a standpoint of anything other than, our leader's there. Okay, our leader is there. Our boss is there. Our employer's there. The person I'm relying on is there. Report back. Hey, just want to let everybody know I stopped by the office. Looks great. Can't wait. Okay. Zoom calls, phone calls, whatever. Once you know that you can get back to work, you should already be pre-planning something, and don't expect a lot to be done the first day. Don't be setting your team up for first day is full force, call all these people. First day is, we're all back. Yeah, what do you think? Relax, okay? Because guess what? None of your team probably is going to have the advantage of doing what you're doing now. It'll be on their first day back. They're going to realize how close they came to losing it all, right? They're going to realize now that I'm back, and they're going to look back on these weeks, this month, this whatever it ends up being, realizing how close it came for them and their family to lose it all. There's some emotion there. This is time to reconnect. And it doesn't even have to be a kumbaya and that you're buying everybody, a bunch of stuff, and it's just donuts. It's hey, everybody bring a sack lunch. Let's make sure, we're gonna have lunch together. Let's get together. Check in on everybody. If your business is big, check in on everyone. Walk it that first week. Okay, if you have a smaller business, check in on everybody every day. But you'll be ready to do that because you're going to start doing it now. So that when you're back, you've already been back. When the business is back, you've already been back. You've been there, you're ready. But now you're going to let your team get ready too, so that you're now able to be that leader all the way through. Because the worst thing that happens is you have all your energy trying to survive, you're trying to make it, you're getting your PPP money. Okay? For my next video, I won't wear a t-shirt. But you don't have time to realize you lost it all. Get over that now. Realize it now. Get into the office now. Go through your numbers now. Go through that emotion now. Before you open, get through that part now. Be ahead of it. Doesn't matter what your business is, and as much as you think, it's no big deal. I haven't been to my office in 31 days. Okay, I'm going to my office. I need to just check in, and not when anybody's there. Right? I don't need someone to meet me there because I'm going to the office. You're going there as the owner. You're going there as the employer. You're going there as the partner. You're going there as the main management team. Get ahead of it. This is how you're doing it. Get ahead of it. And this is how you're doing it. Because we might be, 10 days away. I had someone text me today that on the 24th, 10 days, they'll be able to start doing surgeries again. It's going to be all of a sudden the government, your local government just says, you know what? Hey, we're all open tomorrow, right? Or we're all open on Monday. You don't want it to be then like, oh my gosh, and now you're going to be behind the 8 ball for months. You know that as a business owner, right? You get behind just a little, and all of a sudden you look up, and after a week, you're behind a month on bills and customers and cash flow. The team, it's out of control, okay? And now you're even more just bamboozled, because you're going to realize if you're not getting after it now, if you're not getting it after ahead of time, You're going to come back, you're going to realize how much there is to do, how close you came to losing it all. It's going to seem like it's out of control. Okay? Employees are going to see that, your team's going to see that, management's going to see that, and they don't need to see that. Okay? You're there to be the leader. You're there to be the boss. You're there as the employer. They're relying on you. There's a reason they're an employee. Okay? There's a reason they're working for you as the owner. Okay? I don't have to explain it to you. You get it. Okay? There's no better or worse. Not saying there's two classes of people. I'm just saying they're looking to you. That's why they want to work for somebody like you. Right? They believe in you. And you want to be ready to rock so that you're ahead of it. You don't get where you're swimming, okay? Last story, when I was in high school, I was on the swim team, okay? And the only reason I was on the swim team is I wanted to be in extra good shape for baseball. And I'd swam all my life, okay? Go to the pool all the time, okay? Poor kid, we'd go to the community pool. It's like $5 a month, all you can swim. Anyways, so it's my sophomore year. I'm on the swim team, wearing a little Speedo. What? It's so embarrassing. But anyways, wearing a little Speedo, which I've never done. I mean, they didn't even have that kind of underwear when I was growing up. Anyways, I'm wearing a Speedo and dive in and go through the practices, and I'm at my first meet, first swim meet. And all I got to do is swim this way, swim there and back, right? Just one lap. Okay, it's a relay. And I'm full of adrenaline, haven't done it before. I don't really know a lot of the people on the swim team because I didn't grow up, being on a swim team. These aren't really the people I've been hanging with, right? They're all awesome people, but I'm just saying, I'm worried about impressing these people because I haven't known them that long, right? There's a whole different group of high school students there cheering on the swim team and the other team. And we're swimming against Mount Vernon. It's an hour and a half up there. We have this bus ride. And the whole time I'm just like, gosh, I hope I do good. I hope I do good. I hope I do good. And it's my turn to jump in on the relay. So I jump in and I'm just going so fast. I'm just like, I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Okay. I finally get to the other end. I go to do my turn. I miss it because I tried to turn too early, trying to go too fast. So now I'm really behind. So, anyways, I go back to the wall to give myself a kick to get going. And so here I go, right? Now trying to get to the last wall. And I'm swimming, and I take in this water. Now I'm just drowning. I can hardly breathe. Now, I can't get any air in my lungs in any way, shape, or form. And now I'm like this, and I look up, and everybody's cheering for me, like, come on, let's go, go. I'm like, and I had to stop. I had to stop the race. Okay, I had to stop, and I'm looking around, and I'm like not even halfway, and I see everybody in all the other lanes are already getting out of the pool, like, finish, come on, and they were great. So I finally finished, but I was going so fast, so much adrenaline, and then, okay, you don't want to do that as the leader, okay? You don't want to jump in and flap in and then this and that, and you oh my gosh, I'm drowning. And then everybody's seeing that, and it's not about an embarrassment part. It's not even about any of that. We're all human, right? We can't do anything perfect all the time. But that's not what they want to see. They can't see it, okay? This has never happened ever in our lifetime, okay? What they need to see is a leader that, boom, jumped in, did the right kick, swam back. Doesn't even mean that you did it the fastest. Doesn't mean that you won the race. Doesn't even mean that you did it the cleanest. But you did it with confidence. You didn't have to stop. You didn't miss your turn. You didn't have to, stop because you were drowning and inhaled a bunch of water. But that's what'll happen if all of a sudden the government says, You can open and it's Monday, and here we are on a Thursday. Now it's just going to be a rush and a gush, and you got to be ahead of it. Go to your office, go to your building, walk it, physically be there, every inch of it. Look in the closets, look in every office. Sit down, sit at the conference table, right? Maybe walk in your office, just pick up the phone. Yep, still works, right? Click, 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 click. It's work. Computer still working, right? Take a look around. All right, listen, here's the deal. We're going to come back stronger. We're going to come back, I think, more compassionate, but at the same time, stronger. I think we're going to have more patience, but at the same time, I think we're not going to tolerate as much. And we'll talk more about that. But patience in the sense of understanding, but we're not going to tolerate as much in the sense of, okay, I understood long enough. Now it's time to do something a little differently in this circumstance. I'm not going to wait so long. I'm not going to sit here and hope. Because as business owners, we are going to realize how close we came to losing it all. And when that realization hits, it needs to be before you open the doors so that you can get recovered from that, number one. Number two, because then it'll make you make better decisions like that, right? And, you know, it's a good thing when you hear about, right, near-death experiences and people come out of that and they just look at life completely different. They realize what matters and what doesn't. They figure out what's the small stuff and what really is the big stuff. And that's what you're going to see as well. So I think there's a lot of positive that'll come out of this. You're going to go, you know what, that didn't really matter, or why am I putting up with this, or why are we dealing with that vendor, or why are we dealing with this customer, or why did I keep this employee? You know, there's going to be a lot of positive that comes out of it, but you need to be ready for it. Be ahead of it. All right. I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's do it. Let's go. Giddy up. JJ the CPA, out.